Testing, testing, testing. Mic check 1 2 1 2. Make sure everything's all good. Welcome to the Den. Hey, what's the motherfucking deal? If you're not familiar with the Den, well, first, I'm your host, Ed Honcho. I'm glad that you could join us. Second, the Den is the best conversation on the internet, and the reason why this is the best conversation on the internet is because of all of you wonderful people who I know that my appearances have been sketchy the last couple of weeks. But when we do have a show, all of you who do show up, make this conversation what it is. But we should be good, right? Spent a little time over the weekend getting everything good together. Like I said, I have everything lined out. I'm just kind of debating whether or not to put the streams out there early, because last time I did it, like, none of the streams were showing up for people. They weren't getting notifications. But like I said, so I've kind of pre-prepared for the next couple of weeks, and then, of course, things I'm sure will pop up in between. So we should be good on Dens at the proper time. So we should be in the green now. But again, we'll see who's joining us. We're going to talk about mortality tonight. Not morality. We need to talk about morality too, but mortality. We're going to talk about that tonight, and I'll talk about that in a second. While we're talking about that this evening, along with some of the other information, especially if you're in Texas, some of the things that are going down, very interesting things. But let's see who's joining us, man, and then let's get into it, man. Let's have a good conversation. I caught some of that Jada and Fabulous. Very interesting, very interesting. If all the rest of the verses, because I didn't catch any of the other verses live like that, but if they were all that entertaining, well, gosh darn, I've been missing out, right? Miss K. Grace, the Lady Grace, how are you this evening, ma'am? Mr. Coltrane, a.k.a. the Don of the Discord, what's the motherfucking deal? John from New York, my favorite New Yorker. Miss D. the Gamma, how are you this evening, ma'am? 335, what's the motherfucking deal? Shout out to the stenographer. Beyond a funny nigga, that's an interesting name. I don't know who would do such a thing, but welcome, sir. Glad you could join us. Misty, hey. How have you been, Misty? I hope all is well. Misty, you really need to consider joining us in the Discord. I think that your presence would be greatly appreciated. Because for some reason, I've been hoping you would get a chance to call in. We've been missing. I'd love to hear some of your thoughts on things. But shout out to Miss Misty. Footballer 503, what's the motherfucking deal? Yes. Yeah, don't rely. I guess I can't. If I ever plan on using it, I guess I shouldn't say that. So never mind. Forget whatever I was just about to talk about. But let me see if Miss Bell. I hope all is well. And let me make sure I didn't miss anybody else. If I did, I apologize. But I want to talk about mortality tonight, right? And yes, there'll be a sauce tomorrow. There'll be a sauce rest this week. I was getting some stuff prepared for the sauce too earlier today, just to make sure everything is just pre-planned. Don't have to worry about it. I'll send you the link. You can either have an app on your phone or on the PC, whichever you prefer. And it's, it has the ability to chat like you're chatting in the YouTube chat now, or you can join us in the voice chat and chime in on many a conversation. I think that you would find it very interesting. Miss Shonda Tony, what's the motherfucking deal? How are you this evening, ma'am? Last week, my favorite uncle passed away, right? And I'm not doing all this to make it all super sad. I'm not going to sit back here act like I was just sitting in a corner somewhere bawling and boo-hooing and just grabbing it and shed any tears or anything about it. Just, But I did do a lot of reflecting, right? That's what we do when these type of situations happen. I mean, that's all it is. It's why, I really don't even do funerals, man. Like, I told myself there's like a couple of people, if I outlive them, then yeah, I guess, maybe, depending, whatever, may go to the funeral or not. But I think most people go to fucking funerals just to make sure you're fucking dead. Like, they don't care. You know what I mean? It's just the way of the world. Like, I think people are really weird like that. Like, I don't know. I don't understand. I don't think most people's intentions at funerals are, I guess, what you say, go to pay respect. I think they just go to see. They just go to see what the fuck is going on. But like I said, it's not about that. It's about me just kind of reflecting. I'm just looking at, damn, how long it had been since I talked to him, and just thinking about that was the first real like father figure I remember. Like, even being younger, my dad was in my life. My parents married till I was about 10, 11 years old, somewhere around there, third grade. And not up section, but 10 would be fourth grade. So somewhere around, I don't know. I think between third and fourth grade, there was a divorce somewhere. I don't remember. Anyway, um, but like I just saw the way he operated, with his kids and things like that. And he never treated me funny or anything. So like I don't, it's not that, but it was just different. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I say like he was the real first kind of like, that image, father figure that you're supposed to see, you know. But again, like I said, I sit here like, oh, it was just, war was just a boohoo and all that, you know. I'm pretty sure he was he died a happy person for what it's worth. But you start thinking about yourself. Then you start thinking about, when people close to you die. I think that's what it is. Like, I think that's what people, death and funerals and all these things. People just go to this shit, as a reminder of their own mortality, like to give them the reality check. You know what I'm saying? At the same reason people like roller coasters and shit that almost terrifies you to the brink of death, right? Just it makes you feel something. I'm not saying funerals are exciting like that or anything. I'm just saying there's just certain activities humans do that we're just kind of strange about, right? Um, and so, I believe most people just go. It's like they go for some weird personal reason. Like I said, I think it grounds you a little bit. Just I don't know. Maybe people like are weird with emotions. And I think some people get off on feeling that. Like, I really do believe that because we talk about trauma porn and all of this type of fucking shit, all the time. I think there are people who are like attracted to this type of shit. It's like some motherfuckers seem like they got funerals to go to every other fucking week. Well, depending on what kind of life you live in, I'm sure. But, it's just like, damn, what the fuck? Some people, I don't know, they're really weird about it. It bothers me, but I don't get off on that kind of shit. I think, I guess depending on your religious beliefs or whatever, I'm sure that has some kind of impact on how you respond to that. But, I look at stuff a little bit different. So I guess it's paying respect. Whatever you want to call it, but I think a lot of people are really weird about that. But again, you told me your mortality. You start thinking about yourself. You start thinking about, hey, I'm not going to live forever. Things are going to happen, and you start looking at life. I guess depending on where you are in life. Some people have had midlife crisis. Some people have a midlife crisis. Some people's like, what the fuck is that? If you're young, I mean, it maybe can have an impact on your view of things, depending on how young it is when it happens. Like, I mean, I don't think there's any real, what's the best way to put it? I guess like a script to follow, when these things happen, how it impacts people. Everybody's different, depending on how these things happen, depending on how you lose people when you start thinking about it. But what I want to get into is like, how healthy is it to think about death? Should you think about it at all? Should you just live life? Like, does it take away from the life you're currently living to think about death? I mean, some people, you have plans that you make for your family, in case something happens to you. You plan with life insurance, again, some people go ahead and have all their details for their funerals already, planned out. They have, what is it, plots or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Burial plots. I mean, is that a healthy thing? Are you doing your family a favor? Well, hey, all this is taken care of. I mean, eventually you get to a point where you know these things are going to happen, and if you're in a position to do it, maybe you take care of it, or depending on a person's situation, like when you start having that conversation with somebody, like say if someone is terminally ill, or just again of a certain age where it's eventually going to happen. Like, how does it feel to have that conversation? How does it feel to be? I don't want to say on the receiving end of that conversation, but how does it feel to be the one? That we're talking about my life here, right? Ticking down. So I think it's like different for everybody. Um, I look at it like, again, it's going to happen eventually. You never know. You can't really expect anything. I don't think it's healthy to. This is my personal opinion again, and I want to know y'all's thoughts. Like, I don't think it's healthy to ponder it too much, but I think you do think about it. I mean, again, like I said, all those things that I mentioned, preventative methods, or not preventative methods, but ways to ease the burden of death. It's a lot of shit that goes on when it comes to burying someone, or losing someone, at a funeral, or whatever it may be. It's a lot of expenses that go with it. So again, to add to the fact that hey, you lost somebody. Another thing when it comes to shit like that is family, right? Some people have cool families. Some people ain't tripping. I guess if it's not a lot of people involved, but you have some people who have. You got some people who got some fucked up ass families, man, and the thing about that is it's just like then it becomes a hassle. First you've lost somebody, and then now you got people fighting over their material possessions. you know, when you're in a situation where it's the countdown for you, do you start to look at life differently? I mean, the shit you once cared about, it's no longer relevant, right? Because it can't save you. It can't improve your quality of life. It can't change anything, right? Go out, have a lot of fun. I would say if I was like really old, depending on like how old, y'all ever seen what's the name of that fucking movie? It's a fucking movie. Is it My Little Miss Sunshine? I think it is. Is that the one with the little girl dressed up like the bee or something like that? You know what I'm saying? That's what I think it is. And how do I wish to go out? It's terrible. It's terrible. How do you wish to go out? In a fucking sword fight. On a fucking middle of a battlefield. On some gladiator shit. But no. Like I said, it's just... It's fucking crazy. This is so crazy shit. And hello, Heidi. But like I say, so when you start thinking about that, right? Like when you start thinking about the countdown, things that once matter don't matter. It's all irrelevant. But I think it's Little Miss Sunshine was the movie I was talking about, where I think the old man, he was like, oh, so he started doing like fucking heroin, right? Because he knew that he was gonna fucking clock out. It's like if I was old, it was a rap. Like I got them. Of course, I do all the worst drugs. Like how long am I gonna be fucked up? Now I'd be real fucked up if I like had grams fucking healthy and shit as old, and then you live another fucking 20 years and you just all fucked up and an old ass drug addict. But oh my god, it happens anyway. So it's just like, why not, right? Why not feel all the euphoria? You ain't doing shit else. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. Anyway, that's my thought. So, I want to open up the line here. Like I said, I want to talk about mortality or whatever else is going on in the world. that may be on your mind. Something else has happened, and I can't remember what it is. I mean, a lot of shit's probably happened since last week too. I mean, it's so much shit going on at this point. Like I know I'm definitely not keeping up, and so it's like I say, if something I missed, something I want to discuss, something that y'all. Someone chat like the line is open. Y'all know how we do it. Den folk debate night. Couple of things gonna switch up, right? I figure let's start doing those on Friday. It'll be something to look forward to. That way, whatever issues throughout the week have accumulated can be resolved on a Friday. And if there are no debates, then we can either free range Friday it or kind of bring that back, or we'll see, something of that nature. But I'm thinking Friday, so that way, like I said, if there's any discussion, we'll make sure to have some good controversial discussions throughout the week. And if any debates need to happen, we'll have it at the end of the week, so that way it's still fresh on everybody's mind. And I think it's just something to look forward to, a nice little themed Friday. Let me see. That's Den Folk debate. There's something else too. Something else. I've been talking about the Den Folk karaoke night in the Discord, right? Because of you ain't got to worry about certain issues. I mean, you got the bot that can actually just play the music. You can actually sing along with the bot, or however you want to do it. And people can mute the bot. Just listen to the person sing, or however you want to do it. I think you just have a little bit more versatility in there. So I think you have, some options, some things that you can do there that you can't do necessarily on YouTube without the issues. So I'm thinking, it's the fucking end of June already, goddamn. I don't know. Maybe that might be the thing. Maybe after Friday nights, after Den Folk debate nights, just in case it gets heated or whatever, Discord. After that, on Fridays, we will have some karaoke in the Discord, just to liven it up a little bit. So Friday nights will be something to look forward to after hard week's work or whatever people got going on, and let's do it like that. So, who's racist? I like racist people. We'll talk about that. I'm not gonna lie, right? Yeah, I am. I'm gonna lie. But I don't know, it's just some interesting things, just the way people are perceiving some of these outcomes and how things are going on. I think the election is going to be very interesting. I'm still looking forward to some form of debates, you know what I'm saying? But we'll see, right? Oh, well, no, you don't think you're old enough, goodness gracious. I think he was in his 70s or 80s or something, I think, on the movie. So you got a little ways to go. You got to earn the right to be old and do drugs. All right. So, give me just a second. Let me get the line cracking. But I hope everybody's been well. I hope all y'all are doing good. I guess there's some things to talk about, but I won't talk about them tonight. Maybe we discuss them Friday. Maybe tomorrow. We'll see. We got to depend on what the topic is. I don't know what the hell I call the fucking deadline. That's weird. All right. What the fuck is this? I don't want that. There we go again. I know I was going to do some stupid shit. Hold on 1 second. Okay, there's that. That's not what I want. I don't want this thing at all. Give me this. This is what happens when you do too much fucking tinkering with shit. And I don't even fuck with anything. I just don't want to fucking act right. So while I'm doing this, which I probably should have done, check prior to the stream, knowing that. The fuck? No, I don't want that. So why are you giving me this option? That's all I gotta do here. It's gonna be real sketchy. We're gonna make it work. Okay. All right, we're gonna see. I don't know. I'm doing some weird shit right now. All right, so we put the number up. Like I say, so I want to know your thoughts, man. Mortality. You know, how long should you think about it? Should you not think about it at all? Should you just live life, let it happen when it happens? You know, I want to know your thoughts on. If you do think about it, how often do you think about it? What do you think about funerals? Do you attend them? Do you feel people have genuine interest in people, passing as far as really remembering friendships? Do you think they go there for ulterior motives? Like I said, I think there's a lot of different things around to discuss just to know your thoughts, but the denline number is here, 855-948-0369. I'm going to put the headphones on and let's take some calls, y'all. All right, there we go. Let's see if the thing is not tripping. Okay, that's that. So, if y'all are, if anybody is calling in is having an issue, let me know, because it was doing some weird shit. And so, there's that. Now, as I'm sure y'all can tell, for the most part, I have been not looking at the chat. So, wonderful, terrible people. Whew. Terrible, 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 terrible. No comment. You able to do mail-in votes? Yeah, it's terrible. What's going on? I got talking about Breonna Taylor. Okay, man. Like I said, there's been so much shit happening, man. Like I honestly have outrage fatigue. You feel me? That's some real shit. What's the motherfucking deal? Who we got calling in to the den this evening?
Hello.
Hello, hello. Hello, can you hear me? God damn it. See, that's what I'm saying. They're doing some weird shit. Taking a damn call. I don't know if, I'm not sure if the caller could hear me. See? Yeah, let's see this one time. Just... Alright, give me a moment. I know what I think I gotta do here. I don't want to do it, but I gotta do it. So with everything going back on while we're sitting here, I know Texas is shutting back down. Let's try this one more time. Let's see. What's the motherfucking deal? Who do we have calling in to the den this evening? Hello, hello. Yes, I'm on mine for some reason. It is. Hello, hello. Mic check 1 2 1 2. See, I can hear, but I can't be heard on the other end. All right, we'll figure out what's going on. I feel like an asshole just hanging up on people that don't even know they're getting hung up on. Well, what did I do? Give me just a second. Let's Let's see. What's the motherfucking deal? Who do we have calling into the den this evening? Yes, it's
Beyond a funny nigga.
Are you listening to the stream and responding from listening in?
So can you hear it?
I can hear you.
Yeah, hold on right quick, Honcho. A little technical difficulty.
Oh man.
All right, we good now?
I can hear you. I can hear you just fine, but it's something on my end. That's as for some reason you can't hear me. So
Hello?
I don't know if you're listening or not. So I'm going to tell you a joke beyond the funny. I don't know if you can hear me, but I'm going to tell you a joke. I think it's pretty funny. All right. So anyway, we got to fix these problems. I don't know what is causing this issue here. I don't know why it's showing this. Give me a second. Let's go here. Yeah, this is always a great way to start off a Monday. Sounds like somebody's got a case of the Mondays. Fucking wow, I fucking typed the wrong shit. What's that shit? Take me some fucking crazy weird shit. Exactly. So how's everybody tonight? You guys having fun? I'm having a good time. Let's do this before I do any of the rest of this stupid shit. I think we may be acting right now. Okay. All right. Beyond a funny wigger callback, let's talk about some things. I think we should be back acting right now. So, yeah. Hey, but this was the plan. You know what I mean? So, it's I planned this whole thing out for the line to dismantle and fuck everything up. But anyway, so like I say, Texas, I know is shutting back down, which I figured was about to take place. Just look, I get it. I'm not even hating. Like I'm to the point where I don't really give a shit. Like I'm not knocking anybody. If you want to fucking wear a mask, fucking wear a mask. If you don't, fucking don't. Like, just let everybody fucking deal with their, consequences. At this point, like, fuck it. If you want to go in the store, fucking, they want masks on the store, and fucking put the goddamn mask on. Go in the store, get your shit, get out, and take that shit off as soon as you get out. Like, causing the fucking ruckus and trying to fucking roundhouse the manager is not going to get you a fucking, that's terrible. That's fucking terrible, King Jaja. Absolutely not. It just got me thinking about things. But, it's just like to the point where it's like, let's stop the stupid shit, right? Let's really just stop the dumb
2020
shit.
got Honcho considering death, man, face palming, medium dark skin tone.
But I appreciate the love, sir. It's just like, it's just to the point where there's some other. I don't want to get too much into it because there's some other topics that are going to be related to it. So I don't want to steer the whole conversation in that direction. But it's just like, I don't know. It's just everything is weird. Like watching people and how people are behaving, even not just now, really for the last few years. It's peculiar. Right? And so I've just been seeking new interests. You know what I mean? So it is what it is. Who was it? Was it Steve Jobs that said in his speech? I don't know if he was quoting somebody else, but it was what death is the greatest invention of life. You know what I'm saying? It clears out the old, brings in the new. You know, and eventually, you know, you were new at one time. Eventually, you become old, and it's time for the well. Let me tell you about being old. Instantly happened, right? So I told you, it's the greatest invention of life, and that quickly it can pass before your very eyes. Thank you, sir. I'm now somehow holding this staff with no hands, but Mr. 335, sir, I greatly appreciate the support. You know, I was going to go down to the chairs, but the way this legality works right now, I just couldn't do it. Maybe next year, this is going to be a yearly thing, of course, this is what is the new saying that they hate now, the new normal, and so everybody should just get used to it, and, if they had masks that looked like this, I'd wear it everywhere. So, it's just like, it's to the point where you just looking at the one, it's just like, man, it's about that time, right? It's about that time. And so again, it's just like, he brought up the death and rhythms of life, moments being precious with more meaning. Yeah, I couldn't remember who it was. It was I forgot the little saying. I'll be honest. The only reason I know it is because of the Nipsey song where he put that at the end of it. Appreciate that, Miss Greco. What's the motherfucking deal? Who do we have calling in to the den this evening?
Hey, I must be behind in the stream because you still on your run on my computer.
So the line is working. How are you doing this evening, Miss Rashida?
I'm doing quite wonderful. How are you doing, Honcho?
I'm doing excellent. I'm doing very well. Now that I get to hear from the lovely Miss Rashida, my day is complete. What's on your mind this evening?
What y'all talking about?
We're talking about mortality. We're talking about death, and how it impacts your life, if you will.
Well, the only thing I want to say about it is that I just think it's irresponsible not to have life and to have your family having to cook fish dinner to raise money for your funeral. That t-shirt. Oh, yeah. I think every person should have some form of life insurance to cover your burial expenses, whether you want to be cremated or have to do it. You should have the insurance you can get a cover.
Okay. You got life insurance?
Of course I do. I pay it. Okay. I pay it 6 months at a time.
Okay. You gonna put me on there as a recipient in case something go wrong?
Oh, you want to be? So I gotta ask my mother about that because she just said I don't think she don't like me if I do that.
All I want is
you might have to fight her at the funeral.
No, all I want is the equivalent of.
Who the hell is you? I ain't never heard of this man and where he come from.
But that's what I'm saying. All you gotta do is give it a link. Look.
They might be on your funeral.
Just give it a link. And what she'll be able to do is, she'll be able to listen in and hear all your wonderful calls. And she'll say, you know what?
Oh, no, I don't want her listening to none of my calls.
Well, wow. That's terrible. But no, all I want is the equivalent of a Sideman sandwich, the monetary value of a Sideman sandwich. That's all I'm asking for. So I'm assuming that's what? About $2.14? Maybe $3.09, something like that. That's all I want. But you feel like everybody should have life insurance?
$5 sandwich. You think I make?
I don't know.
I make $5 sandwich.
I thought you know.
My man.
Okay, I thought I'm just saying. I'm just asking. I don't. I don't know.
I
Whoa.
make my Chinese sandwiches with prime rib and lobster with crab meat or something. I don't do that cheap shit.
Real crab meat or imitation crab meat?
Real crab.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Mm,
All right.
mm. Let me stop playing. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Well, that
Um.
depends. If you put it in the work and deserve it, yeah, that's good. But
So how?
as far as talking about death, no. I mean, I thought about it, like what happened, the afterlife and all that shit, but to sit up there and just dwell about it to me is just defeating the purpose of living. You living to live, not living to think about death. When it comes on you, it comes on you, you know. So
Okay. Okay. How do you feel about funerals?
I don't like them. I only go when I have to go.
When do you have to go?
When I have to go is when it's like immediate family, where
Okay.
your absence wouldn't be excusable, really.
Okay.
But I think that funerals have changed from what they used to be so sad. You know, they used to play that organ music and everything, and then people be trying to make you cry, and now they seem more chill. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, just people getting together to remember the deceased and everything. So I think that's better when it ain't so sad. I mean, you know, it is a sad situation, but you know, like you know how people be like trying to jump in the casket with the person, and I mean, but you know what? Some people be doing too much at funerals. You know what I'm saying? It don't take all that. I know you said and everything, but stop.
So
$5 challenge
curiosity
hugging face at
killed
least
the
get it to
cat.
$30.
Miss
Support
Rashida, do you know
Honcho
what brought
domain
it back?
Sancho sparkling heart.
About who?
I said curiosity killed the cat. Miss Rashida,
Mm-hmm.
do you know what brought it back?
What brought it back?
Okay. I'm just curious if you knew. I saw
Mm-mm.
Mr. Keith propose the question in the chat, and haven't seen anybody answer it yet. I know what the answer is. And the reason I know what the answer is because I used to watch them commercials late night when I were young. When I was young, when I were young, I used to watch them commercials late night in my room. No, but I used to watch those
Mm-hmm.
commercials late night. They'd be advertising like them fucking adult clubs and shit, but you know they would be like subtle and shit like that. And so that was
Well,
one
the
of
cat got
the
nine
things on there.
lives. So
Yeah, but that's not what brought it back. I mean, what if you know? Look, we're not gonna get into cat lives here.
he come back automatically, so he gets to the rest of his other 8 lives.
But what
His
brought him back so he could use the rest of his lives?
oh well, you know, I guess the good Lord. I don't know. The cat got a Lord, the good cat Lord. I guess I don't know.
Almost said something that I'm just gonna not
Don't
say it.
almost say something. Just say it. Why you can't say what you want?
No, I
Everybody
don't.
else do the same. Want.
I'm pretty sure it's on the brink of getting
Then
the
you got
channel
to be
banned.
committed to be correct. Huh?
I'm saying I'm pretty sure it's on the brink of getting the channel banned if I say something like that.
Oh well, no, don't do that. You already be blocking me sometimes, so I don't need you getting really bad. Yeah.
And shout out to Miss Just Sarah, the lovely Miss Just Sarah. I appreciate the love, the
Hey
super chat
Sarah,
love.
hey Broderick, hey everybody else, Miss Grace and everybody, Miss Bill. Hope
Oh,
all is well.
okay, okay. All right.
Oh
So,
yes, there is something I want to talk about before I leave, because I don't want to talk about this death shit no more. I want to talk about the Small Business Association, how they refuse to give people their damn grant, all their grant money. Okay, what happened was they passed the in the CARES Act, they passed the section Yeah, if you're a small business, an independent contractor, sole proprietorship, then you could get an advance up to $10,000. So you apply for the EIDL loan. That's economic injury disaster loan. So people been applying, and they only been giving them like $1,000 per employee, but that's not in the CARES Act. The SBA decided to put that restriction on there themselves so they can reduce what they have to give people. And you know the people that's suffering is self-employed and the independent contractors, because you don't really have no employees. You know, you just put down one for yourself. And that's totally unfair. And I hope everybody that did fill it out, get their whole 10,000 eventually.
That's crazy.
Now I understand that the SBA couldn't understand the language of the CARES Act, but they had to actually, Republicans that actually did the bill, you know what I'm saying, made the bill, write them and tell them, we wanted y'all to give these people that applied the whole $10,000 within 3 days. Now, there's no reason for you to not understand that and take it upon yourself to break the law and not do what they tell you. Talking about they can reach out to more people. No, the Republicans told y'all all y'all had to do was when the funds get low to let them know, and they can try to sign in more money instead of decreasing what the people that applied qualified for. Now, there was people that was counting on that money to say they did, so y'all just really just screwing the poor little man while y'all threw around millions of dollars to the big corporations that really didn't need it. But you got people out here can't pay their bills and they renting and shit, and then y'all go play with their money like that. It ain't even y'all fucking money. It's money that the government gave y'all to give people. Assholes.
Well,
That's my little.
You sound like you're a little upset about that.
I'm disgusted. I'm upset, and I'm ready to go throw some damn rocks at the SBA bill. Yes, I am. Pull up, throw rocks and run. Yeah.
You gonna throw rocks and run?
Because like I was gonna do then, you know.
So what if they said, Rashida, we're gonna put the sole responsibility of these funds on you, and you have to go into the middle of the streets of Chicago and fight the president of the SBA. Would you do it for the people?
Yeah, so I think it's a woman too. I can detail. I got her.
Okay.
I drag her ass all up and down the street. Yeah. You don't sit up there and play with people's money. Shit, you know how hard it is out here now, especially since I can't mention the name, but you know what's going on.
Shit is real.
Yeah, it's a lot of people out of work and getting unemployed, and a lot of businesses not opening. Yeah. Stop playing with people.
Yeah, no, I agree. It's a crazy situation.
Did you apply?
Did I apply for what?
The economic injury disaster loan. Are you self-employed or something?
No, I did not apply.
Well, you should, because the money is free. The first 10,000 is free.
Is there any money left?
Yeah, there's money left. I wouldn't be telling y'all about it if the money was gone. The first round was gone. Now they got the second round up.
Okay.
So y'all better go to sba.gov and go to the economic injury disaster loan.
Round 2 is always like the best round. You ever play Street Fighter?
They give you, they give you $1,000 per employee for the grant. That ain't even what they supposed to do, but that's how they figuring out what your grant is.
Oh,
now they might offer you a loan based on your credit, but you don't have to accept that to get the grant.
Okay.
It's a 2-part thing.
I'm looking at that
But
shit.
it's first come, first served. So if you miss out on it, that's your business. Don't say Rashida was big because she told you.
Okay, I'm finna end the end right now, so I'm gonna check that shit out.
You need to do that shit tonight. But that's just me. But you ain't. That's just how I operate. If somebody said we got some money, I hang up on you.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just,
Yeah, I be double, multitasking. Like, put you on hold right quick. Yeah, you gotta have a business out here, cause ain't nobody gonna tell you shit. You gotta look out for yourself in this world. So if there's any self-employed people or any independent contractors in the den, y'all better get on it. Cause once it's gone, I don't know if how much they're gonna sign in next time. If they're gonna sign anything.
okay.
Oh, and they are working on a second stimulus package of CARES Act Part 2, which is they call it Hero. Where you get a disbursement probably of the same 1,200 plus the dependents get 500. That's something, but that probably won't be available to after they come back from their recess. They go on vacation July 4th through July 19th. And we was talking about working on that like the end of July. So if they did approve anything, so that money would go out to, they said, like end of July.
Okay. So, did you apply for the SBA loan?
Yeah, I did. I'm self-employed. Shit, that's why I'm upset. If I ain't applied, I wouldn't be upset. I would get it.
Well, what's your small business?
Me. I am my business. If none of y'all business, what I do. I work. That's all y'all do.
So your business is your business.
Right, I hustle. That's it. That's all y'all do.
Okay, all right. I mean, hey, look,
I sell pharmaceuticals.
No, don't do that. That shit gonna get you in a bunch of trouble.
Huh?
Say, don't do that. That shit gonna get you in a bunch of trouble. Oh man. Okay, all right. All right, well, Miss Rashida, well, I appreciate you getting jumped off, but someone is in the chat wanting to get in and share their thoughts on death. And
Who in the chat? Who in the chat trying to call? Let me see if I want to let them talk or not.
Are we deboing? Look, you selling single black and miles?
Who you talking?
I'm saying you selling single black and miles?
Who?
I said, are you selling single black and miles?
Hell no, I don't sell no black and miles. That's the ghetto people. I'm not ghetto.
Okay, all right.
Are you trying to say I am ghetto? Hello?
I'm sorry about that. My internet was messing up. I didn't hear what you had said.
Nah, you heard me. You heard me perfectly well. I said you think I'm ghetto. You that out.
What you said, feta? You said, do I like feta cheese?
You know what? I'm gone, Honcho, because you heard me clearly what I said. I ain't even sit down no damn feta cheese. You know damn well what I said. But that's okay.
I thought that's what I heard. I told you my internet is acting up, so I'm kind of like having to put bits and pieces, of it together. But
well, you need to get your hearing aid then.
Yeah, I saw a commercial for one.
Mm-hmm. Well, you don't need to see a commercial. You need to order. Get on the page.
All right, I'm gonna look into that. I'm definitely gonna look into that. But no.
You're not even that old on hearing aid. You're not even 40 years old. Stop your bullshit.
Hey, I'm trying to get that new German technology, like the Inspector Gadget shit.
Mm-hmm. That's all I had. I really just had. Was I the first caller?
The first caller whose audio went through.
Oh, okay, so I still qualify for the first call of pistachio.
Yeah, I guess so.
Oh,
Yeah,
you know what? You be playing
no,
all kind of games, so you got to get my pistachio.
no, I got
So,
you. You definitely, you got you. I got you in your pistachios.
and y'all don't forget to go apply for that grant. You know what I'm saying?
As soon as I get off the stream, I'm gonna apply for
Well, yeah, I think you should. I don't know why you ain't been applied for it.
it. Well,
Yeah.
because I don't ever get shit from the
You
government. I
are
don't
at
fucking
YouTube, but you're
yeah.
YouTube
Yeah,
considered
but
self-employed.
I don't ever like. But see, my thing is like I don't ever get shit from the government. I don't ever win shit. I don't fucking like even in like elementary. Did y'all used to have to like perfect attendance shit? And like at the end of the year, like all the kids who was in perfect attendance like would get a drawing and
Yeah,
like you would get some shit. Like
yeah.
how the fuck like I had perfect attendance like 4 years in a row to never win shit. You know what I'm saying? Like
Wow.
that's the kind of shit I'm. They giving away all kind of shit. I'm just looking at the little prizes disappearing. I'm like, okay, I know my name gonna pop up. It ain't that many motherfuckers with perfect attendance. It's
Yeah.
funny. This is bullshit. Like, so I don't ever win nothing. So I don't ever be giving a fuck about shit like that. Like, if I can't like control my access to it, like get hands on with it,
uh,
I don't really be giving too much of a shit about it. Like, I don't ever think it's gonna work. So I mean, it's probably
Girl, it's
a
free
bad way
money.
to think.
You know the DN could use that
Yeah,
money.
I need a
So
new desk. You ain't lying. So
I ain't trying to tell you what to do today. That's, if you don't
yeah,
want to apply, you got to
yeah, I'm gonna apply for this shit. I'm gonna yeah, I'm gonna get a new desk and some lights. I'm gonna say, and if it goes through, I'm gonna say that this is donated courtesy of Miss Rashida. I'm gonna give you credit for all of it.
all I'm asking is for 10% of your money.
Well, it's gotten real staticky. I can't hear. Can't really hear your call. I don't know what's going on right now. But Miss Rashida, I appreciate your call. You know, it's just.
I got some information and I tell you.
Okay, yeah, just holler at me. I don't know. I mean, it just got crazy right now. I don't know what's happening, but nah, but I
Yeah,
was just
every time you ask someone about some money, they phone always do go dead.
yeah. I mean, I don't know what that is, right? You know, it's a crazy. It's got to be some kind of weird science, but you know.
All right, well, take care. I'm gonna see who else called in with something.
All right.
Y'all have a good evening.
All right, you too, Miss Rashida. Thank you for calling in. You have a good evening.
Bye bye.
All right, bye. Do do dooch, do do dooch, do do dooch, do 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 do. What's the motherfucking deal? We got calling into the den this evening.
Hello?
Hello, hello.
This is Cam Newton calling, just letting you all know I'm going to the Super Bowl this year and I'm going to win.
Whew. I got some thoughts about that. That's a real doozy for AFC East fans. That's all I can say about that. Just
The Bills are like, damn it.
right when you figure you had a chance, these motherfuckers still somehow Belichick pulls another rabbit out of his fucking hat. That's crazy. But what's up?
So the over-under I gave my friend, which I'd like you to also answer, is what are the odds that Cam goes better than 10-6 and plays more than 13 games without an injury?
No injury. I mean, are we talking about period injury? Was it the shoulder injury? I mean, just we're
Just any injury.
okay.
Any injury that takes him out for at least a full game.
Okay.
Well, 13 games he's got to play at least.
13 games. I think you get 13 games. I think it's tough because again, we know how the refs call Cam a little bit differently, and so and then again, like I say, when you got Buffalo and they got a nice little defense, you got to see them twice. I'd have to kind of really see the schedule, see exactly where it lines up, but that's a tough one. That's a tough one.
Now, he's in his prime for an NFL quarterback at 31 years old. So if he knocks it out the box this season, do you think he breaks the record for the all-time QB contract next year?
If he does, it will not be in New England.
Really? 'Cause who do they got going forward?
If he does, I don't think New England pays him that kind of money. But I mean, like I said, I think they'd rather take their chances elsewhere than pay him that kind of money.
Don't they have 100? I heard somebody saying they have 100 mil freeing up next year.
I don't know. I just don't see the Pats doing it for some reason.
What's that?
I said I just don't see the Pats making him the rich. I think they would offer him a solid number, but I don't think they would make him the highest paid.
Okay. Why?
I just don't think they'll do it. I don't think the Patriots will do it.
I don't know. I sense a little bit of hate oozing out of your pores right now. Like,
for
why don't you want Cam getting like a $31 million a year? No, for Cam. Why don't you want him getting a $31 million a year, 5 straight years in New England?
I would love for Cameron Newton to get all of the money he possibly could, so he could buy all the lovely hats and matching scarves, and whatever additional ensembles that he would like to put together. I just don't see. I don't think anybody is going to take that risk long term. I think people are timid. I mean, if it took him this long to get a contract this year, like, I think he can go to the Patriots, he have a good year. People are going to say how much of it is it Cam, how much of it is it Belichick, and then again, like I said, I don't think the Patriots are just going to say we're going to shell out this kind of money for this guy, knowing that anything could happen over the next 4 or 5 years if we did do that.
Oh, well, I like the guy. I mean, he was a little bit childish when he lost in the Super Bowl, but other than that, I think he's a nice guy. I don't understand why he gets all the hate that he gets.
He dresses differently. That's my only issue with him. Other than that, I have no beef with him.
Yeah, but in regards to tonight's topic, so it was yesterday that I was making a wellness program for myself going forward, which I started today. And basically it's like, I'm 40 years old. If I lived the full expectancy in America for a man, I'm pretty much halfway dead. So basically, people should really learn to appreciate life. Funerals suck. I've been to more than I would like. But, like the rest of everything else that goes on in America, people worry about things when it's too late or at the last second. So what about it do you exactly want to talk about?
Is it healthy for a person to think about death?
I think it's healthy to plan for it. We'll make sure that things are well planned financially, with your will, legality speaking. There's nothing wrong with thinking about it every now and then. But if like anything else, like too much of something could be a bad thing. If you're going to spend more time thinking about what if, then you're going to, you could be taking that time and do something more positive. Because you don't know what the hell's going to happen. You can plan. My mom always used to say, like, stop. It's kind of like a saying with the whole don't count your chickens before your eggs hatch or something like that. She always say, like, when you do math, when you write things down and when you plan things out like that, and you harp on them, they never work out the way you plan them to be. So if you're gonna sit there and just fucking, that's all you're gonna think about is your fucking death. Well, you'll probably end up living to be 110 years old and be miserable.
That sounds about right.
What about you?
Like I say, I think I do more reflecting than I do, actually thinking about death. I just look at, okay, what opportunities have I, maybe kind of fumbled, just in case they present themselves again or a similar situation. I go over things like that. As far as death, I don't harp on it a lot. I mean, of course, every now and then everybody knows it's coming. Like I say, when you have things happen, when you lose people close to you, you think about it then. I think that's kind of where everybody does. How do you feel about funerals? Do you think people genuinely go to funerals because it's someone that they lost past, or do you think people have ulterior motives for attending funerals?
I think the majority of people go because they genuinely care about the person who passed, or they somewhat care, feel like they have to care because they're somewhat attached to the person, your family or work or something. I think very small percentage of people go to a funeral for scumbag motives.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know.
Although I was disturbed to learn that a trend amongst gang members is that when you're attending a funeral, they shoot up the funeral to get your family members.
Yes.
Which I thought that was so disgusting.
Yeah, just throw a couple more bodies in the casket while we're already here. Yeah, that's definitely a wild thing, and that's a crazy situation. Imagine not being able to, attend a loved one's funeral for fear of, the next one that'll happen to be your own. But it's a thing that happens. But strategically, I guess it makes sense, right? If that's your goal.
What about your bucket list? What do you have on your bucket list before you? If you're not planning for death, what do you have on your bucket list before you die? That you haven't yet knocked off.
That's a very interesting question. I don't know if I have a fucking bucket list.
Or as most of us men would call it, a bucket list.
Yeah. I probably have had some ideas here and there. I probably need to put them together. I probably need to make a real list. I think that might be a good idea. I might take some time this week to come up with one, and we'll maybe have a bucket list.
What was that list? With who was it? Morgan Freeman and Jack Nicholson. And did they have that whole bucket list thing in the movie?
Yeah. That was the movie.
It was skydiving and all crazy kinds of shit.
Yeah. I'm 50-50 on so some days I'll be like, I'll go skydiving, and some days I'm like, fuck that. I'll be that guy. I'll be the one that the fucking.
I have an idea. You should do a live stream while you're skydiving out of the plane with the camera facing towards.
Yeah, that'll never happen. There's a fucking high pitch motherfucker screaming like a bitch and shit. What the fuck is that? Honcho? Who is that? Does he have a female instructor on his back for the first jump? What's going on? What's that noise? So, yeah. But it's like sometimes I look at it, I'm like, this shit looks like it'll be so fucking fun. And then sometimes I look like, I'm probably over the weight limit. I'm not gonna risk it. Not right now. So, but I probably do if I lost. When I lose, because I gotta get my own little wellness plan. These few extra pounds that I put on, I'd probably be more confident to do some shit like that because I know right now I'm just a fucking fat ass.
Yeah. I got on my wellness plan. I got what do I got? Let me see here. I got to pass some exams for work, read the Bible, diet, lose some weight, exercising, do some reading, some researching, some volunteering, join a gun club range, be in bed by midnight and wake up by 6 a.m. You know what else is on my wellness list?
What's that?
Speaking of education and research, I'm enrolling in an African American Studies program.
What inspired that?
Part of my wellness program is to continue researching and educating myself and stuff like that. And why not African American Studies? Why not?
Just make sure it wasn't some kind of corporate obligation to BLM or something like that.
No, it's Actually, I hope they don't ask me why you want to join because nobody won't let me join if I tell them. But they're definitely going to kick me out on the first day. No, but I'm just curious. Just what it is, Honcho. I just want to learn about American history. That's all.
Okay. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that at all.
I found out that a lot of colleges in the New York area don't even have an African American Studies program.
Really?
Which was, it kind of was shocking, but at the same time, black people only make up around like 12% of the population, so it's kind of like, you know, I kind of see it both ways.
Yeah, I had had an African American studies teacher in college a while back. I would love to know where he is right now with everything that's going on. I would not be surprised if he's out there burning something down. Like, this man was like a low key radical. Like, you know, we all had to take the class. It was like cause we played football, so he was like one in class. They kind of it was like to pass or whatever. But I mean, it wasn't like an easy pass, but it was just, you know, they made everybody take it. It was right there. They could do it in the fucking field house or whatever. And yeah, so like when everybody be there, you know, we have our classes, we do everything. All the black guys sit up front. He was real cool. Every time we asked questions or whatever, always real cool. Anytime a white guy asked questions, it was a noticeable difference in his response. I mean, just even to ask a question, his reply to a question, just call him. It was like, it was noticeable. And so then, like, sometimes after the class, you know, he'd send everybody out, and you know, he talked to some of us, and he had some very interesting ideas. To we'll just leave it like that. So I wonder
Now,
where he is at this time.
did any of the white kids complain that they didn't get the grades they felt they deserved in that class?
Everybody passed. I think everybody got pretty solid grades. Like, I don't think he graded them any different. He just responded differently in person.
Here's the $1 million question. So he was extremely, I forgot the word you used, but he was very passionate, let's just say, about the African American history in America. Was he married to a black woman?
I don't think he was a married man. Because he was relatively, he was probably only not too much older than us. But no, I don't know if he was a married man or not.
Because I've heard that when somebody acts like super duper over the top, like pro black, it's because they're compensating because they have a non-black partner.
Well, I mean, I've heard that, but usually I feel like it's the light skinned people. He was a dark skinned guy, so usually light skins are all militant like T.I. and ready to fight and set everything off. So they got to prove that you know, they blacker than everybody else. So I've always wondered why that's a thing, but you know, hey, it is. I ain't knocking. It's cool. It's cool. If you like it, hey, I love it. So,
you know, the anniversary is coming up on July 2nd of a man. I don't know how to say his name, but Denmark Vesey. He have you ever heard of him? He was basically accused of like plotting an uprising, kind of like a New York rebellion, or like a Storno or something like that. So I was learning about him today, and he's July 2nd. My friend is he's starting an African American study program at the charter school he teaches at, and but he's going to gear it more towards injustice and social injustices in terms of like the court system and stuff like that. So he was like showing me his whole program that he's going to show the kids and everything, and he's like, it's all like, you know, all like people who like slave revolted and then got killed, and it was like Nat Turner this, that. I'm like, Jesus Christ, the kids are like 12 years old, calm down. Like, they turned Nat Turner into a fucking person cooking grease. Like, just give him a little bit more of a fucking happy ending story, like a Benjamin Banneker or something. Like, he's like giving them all the stories of like every guy that did a slave revolt and then got killed and like heads cut off and stuck on a stick. And I'm like, give him something with a happy ending. Not that kind of happy ending, but like, you know, like just something with a positive ending. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that shit might get you arrested.
I was like, at least talk about Draft Week or something. Like, throw the Irish in there or something. I'm like, why you gotta talk about every black person dying in every story that you tell them?
That's tough. But again, I mean, there's definitely some stuff that they won't hear in most of your public school classes. So the response to that, I'm sure, will be very interesting. I don't think. Again, it's interesting too with this generation because I think kids were a lot softer. You would think, with access to all the shit, that they wouldn't be as squeamish, but I think kids are still softer as a whole. This generation than they were, years prior.
What are you talking about, the college students?
I'm just, kids as a whole. I mean, anything probably. What is this, Generation Z? Is that the generation now? I don't even know what that
X
is.
or Z? Yeah, I think it's Z or X. I don't even know.
So,
They're definitely going to throw me out of the school. I mean, there's no question about it. They're definitely going to throw me out. As soon as I start talking about, like, I want to start a debate team, and I want to debate the reason why Malcolm X and Nation of Islam were able to form a pact with the KKK and the CIA to divide black and white people is considered black privilege. They're going to throw me the fuck out.
yeah, they're not going to be too keen on any of that. As soon as you get to the part about the KKK, that's okay. That's enough, Mr. John. As it's going to be a wrap. It's going to be downhill from there.
All I know is I have a feeling the teacher's going to be white. I don't know why. It's going to perturb me a little bit.
You're probably right about that. You're probably absolutely fucking right about that.
But then I said to myself, why? It's African American history, as in the past. So why can't a white person or an Asian person or a man or a woman tell the story just as well based on research in a time period that none of us would be alive, whether it was a black teacher, a white teacher, a yellow teacher, or a brown teacher?
Man, who was
So I had a racial conflict with myself. I had a crazy person talking in my head with myself today.
A comedian made a joke about, or made a reference to something about that, because they were talking about going on a tour of one of these. What was it, Dave? I don't know. They were talking about going on a tour of one of these like African American history museums or whatever, and it being a white guy that was giving them the tour, and they were just talking about. At first, they were mad, but they couldn't be mad because he was so good. Like everything that they were throwing. Oh, or was it the Roy Wood thing? It might have been the Roy Wood thing. But yeah, he was just talking about it was such a good day, a good tour that he had to congratulate him or whatever. So it was I mean I don't know. If they know what they're talking about, they know what they're talking about. It is what it is. I mean you can't dispute that.
And I want to say one last thing before I know I've extended the 8-minute mark, but I learned that the person who created the term white fragility is named Robin DiAngelo, and she's a feminist leftist white woman. The woman who created white privilege is a feminist white leftist. Her name is Peggy McIntosh. The lady who created the definition of racism, which a lot of American black people like to quote, and also white liberals, which is prejudice plus power equals racism. That was created by a white leftist professor named Patricia Bidall. So I'm seeing a pattern here. They're all women, they're all white, they're all leftists, and they're all coming up with extreme definitions to get people to get in each other's faces and I don't know. I just thought it was a pattern.
So what you're saying is that we need to cancel the Karens?
There was a reporter yesterday on Twitter, a black woman whose name was Karen, and she started tweeting out, and she started tweeting out that white women are lucky that all black people do is call them Karen instead of getting the revenge that they deserve. And then she deleted her tweets right away because everyone was giving her shit. And I'm like, a black woman named Karen doing a real Karen thing. And I'm like 2020, baby.
Yeah, that has to be a tough situation. I had posted a video the other day of when a Karen meets a Keisha, and it was a real crazy thing, a real crazy event that took place in the store. But it was funny as shit to me. Oh man. Okay.
That's the one where she got punched up. She got punched at the gas station and fell on the floor. The white lady and the black lady.
Yes. I thought it was extremely funny because the last time she said nigger, the way you tell she had to build it up to push it out, and she just kind of had this little when she said it, And just
She said it with her whole chest.
yeah, she gave it everything she had. It was almost like a small puppy when he's learning to bark, and he's really trying to just let you know he's got a little authority. She gave it all she had. It just got ugly real fast from there. I was just like, oh, I give you your credit for standing standing on your hill, but damn, it got ugly real fast after that. So. Yeah,
That's usually how it works.
that was crazy. And the fucking clerk is the motherfucker recording everything. I'm like, what the fuck? You ain't trying to break up people fighting in your store? Well, I guess if you don't give a shit, you don't give a shit. So.
Yeah. I just want to say I'm gonna get off the phone now. Let somebody else call in. I want to say I love everybody in the den. God bless you. I hope you all live a very profitable, healthy, long life with lots of happiness in it. Wish you a wonderful rest of 2020. I hope all y'all learn something new tomorrow just to better your minds, because like Arthur Fletcher said from the NAACP, a mind is a terrible thing to waste. And I believe that children are the most oppressed and disrespected group of people in America, and we need to cherish them and give them education. We need to get rid of these crazy white feminist liberal women out of here, and we need to restore God back into the body. And I'm just rambling right now, but I wish it. But good luck, everybody. Love you. Good night.
Appreciate the call, John.
All right, bye.
Have a good day, sir. Oh man, it made me think of like one of them award speeches at the end. What's the motherfucking deal? Who do we have calling into the den this evening?
D the Gamma.
D the Gamma. How are you this evening, ma'am?
I'm hanging in there doing homework.
Homework. What kind of homework you got?
History of all things.
Okay, we got back-to-back history action going on. What kind of history you working on there?
Right off the first topic we're doing is about the Confederate flag. I thought it was so ironic because it was just my first class starting today, and they just happened to be what we're discussing. So I'm doing homework on it.
Okay. Now wait. Now let me. Now my memory is terrible, so let me try to dig in my memory banks here a little bit. Now, I remember a while back a call you had. You had mentioned something about going back to school, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I just started. Today was my official first day of class.
Okay, well, shout out to you for pursuing that. You said it was something that you wanted to do, and you did. So congratulations for you on that. I hope you stick with it and knock it out. Okay. So you said you're studying the Confederate flag. Like, do you have any, additional thoughts on it? Does it change your perspective of it? Do you, how do you feel about it?
Well, just reading what the material that I was going over today, it was just like a lot of things that I guess I didn't know, that I've never heard before, about like how it started and all of that. And it was just kind of eye-opening for me because I knew it was always a racist thing, but I knew a lot of people had said it was, for their history of the war and this and that. But actually reading the material and seeing what the person who actually designed the Confederate flag said, it was just like eye-opening for me because I'm like, yeah, this is really being based on race and white supremacy for, since its inception.
So would you like to share with the people what the maker of the flag said?
Okay, let me get to my notes because I did take notes on this. His name was William Thompson, and he designed the second official Confederate flag, and stated as a national emblem, it is to signify our higher cause and the cause of our superior race and a higher civilization. Okay, I can't hardly read my notes. Contending against ignorance, infidelity, and barbaricism. I don't think I said that right. Let me see. As a people, we are fighting to maintain the heaven ordained supremacy of the white man over the inferior of colored races.
It's a powerful statement.
Yeah. And so I mean, that was a quoted statement, but I kind of jumbled some things up because I got to do a paper about it, so I kind of ran stuff together.
So, prior to reading these things, your thoughts of the flag were just kind of, it's not good. I'm not keen on it. It has racist undertones, and so you feel like now what you've studied has kind of confirmed that.
Yeah, it did. I mean, because he made the flag, and so it was just like eye opening because I never knew about who designed the flag and all that because I just don't remember that being something I remember from school. I just don't. But now, being in it now, I'm having to read all of this, and it kind of gave me kind of stirred up my emotions a little bit. But I'm having to do some research to get other perspectives on it. So that's where I'm at right now, doing research.
So, when you see a Confederate flag, how do you feel about the person who may or may, I guess what do you do? I don't know if they're wearing it, if it's on a truck, if it's on a house, or whatever it may be. What thoughts does it generate in your mind?
Well, I have some friends who do have that placard on their truck. One of my close friends that I used to work with, she had a placard on her truck, and it's hard to explain, but like I had to ride with her a couple of times, and it bothered me in my spirit. But I know her, and she wasn't giving me any racist vibes. We're real close, and I mean, I guess it bothered me in my spirit because I knew what it stands for, but she didn't give me those vibes, and she didn't treat me any different, so I didn't really have a problem with her, if that makes any sense.
I'm going to be honest, Miss D the Gamma. She called you nigger when you weren't around.
Huh?
I said she called you nigger when you weren't around.
I don't know if she did. I don't know.
I'm just talking shit.
If she did, I don't know. She never treated me like that, so I don't know. If she did, that's her. But
yeah, it's my good old nigger friend. D the Gamma. She's good people.
I hope not, because I mean I consider her like almost like a sister to how close we got when we were working together. So. I mean, I would hope not, but...
No, I don't think so. I'm just talking shit, man. But I find, I don't know. I mean, I probably shouldn't find racism to be as funny as I do, but but definitely. And so you feel like people can have different perspectives of the flag. So you say, you didn't get any racist vibes from her, but she's a person that supported a good friend, but you see it as something negative. So
I do.
With that kind of saying, because I hear a lot of people say, "Oh, heritage, not hate," and things of that nature. So, that doesn't give you that kind of vibe? If she doesn't give you, like you say, she doesn't give you racist undertones, do you think there are more people who, sport the Confederate flag could feel the same way?
I do. I do believe that they can feel that way. That they were, I guess, showing respect to the flag for the war itself, not so much as the principles behind the flag.
Mm-hmm.
I see that there can be some like that, but now this day and age, with all this going on now, they're using it to just spew hate. That's all that is.
So you think the people who again, like I say, that who are more on the heritage, not hate, do they need to be aware of the other connotation, the perception that other people are getting of it? Because there are people who
Yes.
want to use it as a symbol of hate.
Most definitely. I think everyone like needs to be more educated about the flag and what it stands for and all of that. Like me, because like I said, it was eye opening. Because a lot of things I don't remember that was ever taught in school with me that I'm just finding out. So maybe it needs to be something that people research and really find out about, and maybe they'll get a better understanding of the reasons why we feel so strongly about that flag and what it represents to us.
Okay, okay. I don't know, like I've never really cared. It's never been a big deal. Um, there was one incident in high school, but it's neither here nor there. He was stupid. He got himself into that situation. But I don't know. Like I say, but I do understand why people feel the way they feel about it. I
Hmm.
mean, I do and I don't, and I'm talking about like with all parties involved. It's just my thoughts on the whole thing are a little weird, but it is what it is. But no, that's cool. That's pretty interesting though. So far, are you liking the class that you're taking? I know you said you just started.
I wish it wouldn't have been history. It was my first class. I really don't, but I'm gonna get through it. Uh, I'm ready to get to my core classes, which I only have like 63 hours left before I actually get my degree. So I just got to go through these last little prerequisite classes, and then I'll be in my core classes. So that's what I'm looking forward to.
Okay, okay. Well, that's what's up. Man. That's what's up. Like I say, that's good though. Like I said, I do remember you mentioning that, and so I'm glad that you made the decision. What officially motivated you to do it?
Well, to be honest, I just went through 7 deaths close to me. And that's what motivated me to call in, talking about morbidity and everything. Cause um, I just had a real dark space because I lost so many people close to me, and it seemed like it was back to back to back. And it started making me feel like I didn't want to be here because it was just strange, like people just dropping like flies around me. And I was like so deep down and depressed, like I didn't even want to be here. And going through that, I just had to somehow overcome that. I'm like, I gotta get this out of my mind. I gotta do something positive, and that's what made me just like go ahead and try to get my mind on something else. And I decided to enroll in school and go ahead and do it. And so far, it's helped me to not stay stuck or dwell on the losses of my friends and family, but to try to do something positive and stay focused.
Okay, okay. Well, that's what's up. Yeah, sometimes you gotta find a way to turn the negatives into I don't want to call it a positive, but I mean some type of motivation. Use it as fuel to to find something inside yourself, and I think that's the best way to do it, and without doing something destructive. So okay,
Hmm.
but I hate for that to be the thing that motivates you. But I am glad. I know that's something you said you want to do, so I am glad that you are doing that.
Yeah, it was hard because like these weren't people, just ordinary people. These were people that were really close to me, not just my family members, but to realize that they're not here no more. Like it do make you start thinking about your life. And plus I was going through a lot of health issues, so it just was like I didn't want to deal with any of that anymore.
Mm. Mm. Okay. Um, well, I mean, like I said, I hope in the long run that you gain, what you're seeking from that, and that is to give yourself a positive direction to focus your thoughts. And hopefully the health situation has cleared up or is clearing up or getting better. Um,
Yeah.
but what are your thoughts? I know you said you've had a lot of people pass recently. Was it all kind
Mhm.
of during this Corona situation that it happened?
Yep. And since March,
Hmm.
I've lost 6 friends and, well, 5 friends and 2 family members.
Hmm. Okay. And so with all that going on, there haven't been any funerals or anything like that, have there?
Well, we didn't get to have a funeral for my cousin, um, because, like I was telling Kay Grace, he didn't have insurance, and he died suddenly. He was at home with his children, and he just passed away. So, like, and he didn't have any insurance at all. And so his kid's mom did a GoFundMe for him so she could try to get him, buried or something. But there was no funeral.
Okay.
And then one of my friends that passed away, his funeral was televised. Like, we wasn't able to go, but they live streamed it.
Okay.
So, but yeah, I don't really care to go to funerals, but when somebody close to me passes away, I feel like I have to be there. That's just me personally.
Mhm. All right. Yeah, again, I'm sorry to hear that. That's extremely unfortunate. Again, like I said, just for this to be a matter of months to lose that many people close, to lose that many people in a lifetime is tough. But I mean, in such a short span, that's wild, man. So
Hmm.
I'm sorry to hear that.
And right now, my sister, she's in the hospital, but I don't think she has COVID. But she's been in the hospital now for like a week, and so she's probably not gonna leave anytime soon with her issues. And my mom, where she's at the nursing home, 2 people tested positive for COVID, so they had to go through and test everyone and be clean and everything. So right now, my mom is negative, but they have to keep testing because 2 people did test positive.
Okay, that's yeah. It has to be I don't want to say frightening, but I mean definitely concerning situation at best.
Yeah, yeah, because it has to be the nurses that brought that in there, because the residents don't go anywhere.
Mm. Yeah, that's, I don't know. This whole thing it's crazy. It's crazy. Okay. All right. But is there anything else on your mind regarding mortality or just anything that's going on in the world today?
Well, I don't want to hold up. I don't know how long I've been talking, but I really had to call in because this was a topic that, I've been thinking about a lot. And with all this COVID thing, I think it's only going to get worse. That's just my personal opinion, because they're in a rush to open everything up and try to get back to some sense of normalcy. And I just see it's going to be worse than it is now.
So they're continuing in the direction of opening up where you're at.
Well, slowly, but I mean, we still, like, I work at Walmart, and we still, closed down early. So, but they're trying.
Okay. Um. Yeah,
So
like I
that's
said.
all I got.
Okay, well, Miss D, as always, it's good to hear from you. So whenever you do get a chance to call in, I do enjoy it. Again, unfortunately, this is a sad topic, but I do thank you for calling in and sharing your thoughts with us this evening.
All right. Yeah. Bye-bye.
All right, have happy studying. History was a crazy class for me, but we'll get to that. What's the motherfucking deal? Who do we have calling into the den this evening?
Hey, Honcho, it's Belle. How are you? I'd like to throw a real big shout out to Gamma. Congratulations on going back to school. That's awesome.
Okay, I agree.
Education's always good. So I got sidetracked. I got pulled away from the phone. One of my friends called me to tell me that they had a shooting in her neighborhood, and this is the second one in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it was a bit rough, but she's okay. So she's lived in that particular community for 4 years, and there's never been anything wrong. And like I said, in the last 2 weeks, there's been 2 shootings.
Has anybody new moved into the community or anything like that, or?
Yeah, actually, yeah, they were, and so it's definitely getting taken care of. But she was a bit freaked out. So, but anyway, getting back to the topic, how'd you phrase it? When's a good time to talk about death and dying? Or, I'm sorry, I didn't exactly sure to.
Just basically, is it? I mean, is it healthy to think about death? And so, can you think about it too much? Is there an appropriate amount of time to think about it? And I'm sure like different circumstances are going to require, different levels of consideration. But, what are your thoughts on that?
Okay, oddly enough, within the first 2 months of my relationship with my husband, we were talking about it. His mom had passed away like 4 months before we actually got together, and his dad was pretty sick. So it was, I had worked in the nursing field for a long time and lost my dad when I was young, so it was something that I wanted right on the table, knowing that I wanted a long-term partner. And those kind of conversations, if you're really new into a relationship, or make it and break it, the harder conversations are actually to have with your parents. If you have a good relationship with them, I am privileged to be the executor to my mom's stuff of whatever she's got going on. But trying to actually nail down what she needs done is like Jello to the wall. So because she's going into her 70s, almost 80s, those are the kind of things that conversations that are rough but need to be had, so that once they pass away, it's a lot easier to clean the aftermath up, rather than trying to dig through everything and figure out what goes where. Everybody's going to be different. Not everybody has life insurance policy. It should be, but it doesn't mean that people can afford it. I was really blessed that my husband and I had gotten a policy when we were very young. It helped everything out. It wasn't the be-all, end-all, but it made things run a lot smoother. And I didn't have to rely on his family or my family to take care of anything. But not everybody's in a financial position to do that. I would say, knowing what I've gone through over the last 20 years with watching people die, health situations, family members going, is that it's never too early to get your financial stuff in order. There's a statistic that says that most accidents or most deaths happen within 20 miles of your own home. And the fact is, as we get older, our percentage of leaving this earth is higher. None of us get out of this world alive.
Correct.
So that being said, I was thinking that, with COVID being almost a 500,000 count in the United States alone, just testing positive, and I don't know if that's including deaths or not, that we might want to talk about like the depression from all the deaths and all the sadness with the hospitalizations and those things, because there is depression-related health issues. Watching family members not being able to survive, and it may not be COVID. It could be something related from that. It could be, all kinds of other things. But post-survival can be, they call it survivor's guilt. And that may be a topic that we want to touch upon, especially with such a big pandemic going on. You know, like Gamma said, you feel guilty about being alive because others have lost theirs. And I am so blessed that I've got a new grandchild coming and that I'm watching my kids being adults. But not everybody has that positive thing to hold on to or to look forward to or to goal orient to. You know? And to be honest with you, every time I call in or every time I listen to you guys, it's a blessing. I learn something new every time.
Yeah, me too. That's why that's why I love the Den Folk. A very informative group, and again, like I said, with all the diversity, it's good because again you get to hear different sides of things.
And I definitely want to shout out to Kay Grace. She's an author, and I bought her book, and I'm so excited. I got it from my granddaughter coming in December.
Okay.
So I definitely wanted to give her a shout out on that. I'm so proud of her.
Okay, shout out to Miss Grace.
The what?
I said, yeah, shout out to Miss Grace.
Yes. But as far as the death conversations go, I think that it's always harder to have it with your parents than your partner. And the reason I say that is if they're going to be your partner, then that's something that you need to work out if you're going to stay in that relationship. And if you're not, then that's kind of telling on its own story.
Yeah. I agree. If you're not ready to have that conversation, you might not need to be in that situation.
Yep. And the other thing is even if you're the most healthiest person in the world, sometimes things happen. When it's your time is how I've heard it phrased more times than I care to tell you. But in the meantime, for yourself, let your life be worth living. After my husband died, it was probably about 3 months, and I got into a real funk. And what I thought about was, you know what? How do I want to leave this earth? How do I want my children, and at that point I didn't know I was going to have a granddaughter, but how did I want my, legacy to know who I was and what I was about? And the best thing I can do is be the best person I can be. Yeah, I know it comes off as Pollyanna or whatever, but it's kept me out of some depression. Yeah, I see culture's eye roll. So, on that note, I'm going to let you go, but I just wanted to say that, you know what, it really is an important conversation, whether it's with your parents, your spouse, or your children, or your partner. It's not something that you should brush under the rug because the time that you go to figure and do it, it might be too late.
Correct.
And it's one of those just serious conversations that you have to have, like, are you going to have kids or what's your religion kind of thing. All right, I'm out of here. It's what I've heard has been pretty great tonight. John was pretty on point as always, and it's going to be real interesting having the Panthers Newton going to the Patriots. That's going to be really weird next year. He's only got a 1-year contract, so it's all up in the air.
Extremely intriguing. I can't wait. It's going to be. I got some people I got to definitely.
I might not have been a Brady fan, but he was definitely a good fit for the Patriots.
Oh, yeah, I would say so. I would definitely say so.
Yeah, I'm not a Brady fan in general. Yeah, but I'm not a fan of him, but yeah, he was definitely a good fit for them. All right, that being said, I'm off, and let's have a good night.
All right, well, Miss Bell, the bell has rung, and class is in session. I appreciate you calling in this evening.
All right, good night.
All right, you have a good night. All right, I think we'll do one more caller, and then we'll end it up after that. Well, what's the motherfucking deal? Who do we have calling in to the Den this evening?
Hey, it's your boy Josh again, man.
Hello, Joshua. How are you this evening, sir?
Hi, Honcho. Doing okay.
Okay, okay. You been in any protests or any marches or anything like that lately?
Now, because I'm trying to be a noble citizen, follow instructions of social distancing, like most people aren't doing.
So you've been successfully social distancing?
Yeah.
Okay, okay. So, in the city, it's apparently going to be going back on lockdown. How do you feel about that?
I guess it was a long time coming. I guess due to Texas being a pro-business state, it's kind of hard to shut everything down. That's why I felt like Abbott got short end of the stick because it was because I guess he's getting blamed for stuff that other states are doing because I guess in his like, he's like, okay, you should shut everything down. I was like, California hasn't been shut down at all, and the numbers are going up 69 to 70% over there, but the news and the media aren't saying anything.
Mm. Well, why don't you think they're saying anything?
That. Because, I mean, it's a narrative that they're trying to push that I guess protest has nothing to do with the cases going up, which is a lie, because if that was the case, then we might as well have people in the stands for football and basketball, if that made sense.
Right. All they would need to do is wear a mask, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Right. So what are your thoughts on your mortality, Josh?
My mortality, I'm at a point where it's just like I live life every day without regrets, so if anything happens, then it is what it is. And I always want to leave a positive impact on pretty much everybody that knows me and everybody that has come in contact with me. And if I happen to leave and they say that I left a positive impact, then I've done my job.
Okay.
That's how I look at it.
Well, put it like this. If, anything ever happens to you, Josh, and, if for some reason I'm ever asked to speak, at your funeral, I will be sure to say all the worst things about you. I'll be sure to bring transcripts of some of the comments that you've made in the chat so people know what type of character you really are, because you're a terrible person, Josh. So I just want you to know. You can count on me for that. So, I mean, if you just need to put that information out there somewhere, I'll be more than happy to give people an honest review of your life. But, no,
All right.
But
you should be honest.
I mean, that's what I want at my funeral. Actually, I don't want a funeral. Just cremate me, and give my ashes to like the clumsiest person, and then just let whatever happens after that. But no. So do you think about like I said, your future? I mean, because you're relatively young. You're in college. You're not thinking. You're a young man. You feel like you got infinity. You can just live forever when you're young and discovering life. You live a little bit on the edge sometimes. But do you spend any time, thinking about death or your future, or do you think that far in advance, or are you just living in the moment?
I mean, I think about the future. I don't think about death forever because without me, with me, it's like I live life every day without regrets. Really, I live life trying to do everything that I could do, and if I can't do it, then I'm like, it is what it is. I tried. So if you live every day like that, and death comes, usually you won't even know when it comes unless it's like you get a bad sickness, or even then you tend to think about it. So in that aspect, like I said, living life every day without regrets and doing everything you want to do until that time is up, that's all you can do. So you don't worry about it. I mean, I don't worry about it.
So, if you live in life with no regrets, does that mean you go raw?
I go what?
You go raw. If you go live life with no regrets, do you just say fuck it and go raw?
I mean, you can. I mean, if that's your version of living life without regrets, then sure, by all means. I'm pro person. I'm pro doing what you want to do.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it's my prerogative. So I can do what I want to do. It's my prerogative. But no, I'm just fucking with you, Josh. But okay. So looking at everything that's going on, man, it's a lot of weird stuff happening. Just from the fallout from the illness and everything around it. What are your expectations for the state of Texas come election time? Do you expect anything different?
I don't know, because, again, we shut down again. People going to be locked up. And really what it is, people want to be shut down so they can get really pretty much unemployment checks. And if everybody gets unemployment checks, inflation's going to rise, so people going to be buying shit they don't need. And then there's going to be taxes down the back end to make up for it, like always. And then shit going to go up. Gentrification is going to explode. Now people are going to be mad again and blame the governor again. So I don't, unless there's a magical vaccine that comes out of nowhere, which, again, they can push a BS vaccine that don't really cure shit, and we won't know because the virus already has a high percent of recovery rate. So that could be a bullshit vaccine that gets pushed, and people could think that it works, but they actually don't, and you won't know because people will be cured from it. So apparently, and then when you have Fauci talking about some and this I know Fauci really not taking it that much seriously how I would like it, because even when he was doing one of his talks with California, he was saying, quoting, saying that he said the state doesn't necessarily need to go back into a complete lockdown. Now, this is a state that's rising out of control in California, and for Fauci to come out and say that, I lose all faith in him, the government, and anybody working with him at all. So there's that.
Okay. So, are you ready to live a life of COVID-19 forever?
Yeah, because like I said, even I talk to people today, and just going around, and most regular people was just like, well, the virus is always going to be here. It's just that is it going to be infectious and it's just going to be contagious like we're doing now, like most people wearing masks. So, most everybody believes the virus is still going to be here, but it's just the effectiveness and the deadly part of it that people are concerned about.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, that's I don't know. Anything else you want to add? I have no further questions to add.
Yeah, and about the, I want to say last thing, but about the flag conversation too, even the Confederate flag thing, like it's not, the reason why I was for, I guess, removing it, like most people were, it's really that it mostly represents hate. You have the conversation of all racism, who did this. I really don't care about that right now because that I only worry about the right now, what affects right now. We can do with the past at a later date, but for Mississippi to remove that was a bold statement. I mean, these are white people that probably going to go out and vote for Trump in November, and they see a problem with it. You have black Republican, I guess young like me, and old that work in Congress that says that this is a problem that this symbolizes hate and racism. So if they're saying that, then why would I be opposed to that? Unless they're doing it for money and they're fooling me. But they're probably doing a good job of that if they're doing that. But I don't think so.
Do you think they could just be avoiding the backlash that they see is coming with it? I mean, everywhere you look, you see people getting upset, rioting, tearing down statues, fucking shit up. I mean, if we say, hey, it's not worth the hassle. Let's just take it down. Whatever you feel about it is whatever you feel about it. I mean, I think you have more to lose trying to keep it up and deal with all the bullshit. I think a lot of this shit is just pure PR, man. Like, it's like, fuck it, let's just go ahead and do it. Because, I mean, a lot of these same companies that was blacked out a week or two ago got fucking rainbow-colored logos today. You know what I mean? So, again, it's trendy stuff by these corporations. It's trendy stuff by these local governments or whatever the fuck it is. I mean, It's trendy stuff by these athletes who are kneeling now. It's just like I say, all of it to me. What has came about?
Eastside
What has
said
really
I
been
was getting his
obtained? You
whole
know what I mean?
stimulus check.
So.
Thinking
Now the
face with
athletes,
rolling
yeah,
eyes,
the athletes
person
that you
shrugging
brought up,
MS
that's a little bit
Grace. I
different.
heard
That's why I didn't
Honcho's
bring that up
alert go
because
off.
these athletes
I
talk
know
about
it was your
I'm gonna move
donation,
because
sparkling heart.
it's been social injustice. It's been stuff that didn't like the A&M protest. People like I don't give that time of day because it's like you knew what you was getting into. You see what I'm saying? So I don't have sympathy for that. Like you held up your hat and you were proud. Your parents were clapping that you went to a school like that. And I don't see people as stupid because people done their research. I mean, I hope so. So that I don't feel bad with. But as far as like the government, Mississippi involved, like even the SEC commissioner, like, because those states, they're gonna get business regardless, even if they do anything or not. Because those are Mississippi, Alabama, those states, like they don't have to do anything. Like backlash isn't really gonna affect them, and protests not gonna affect them because there's like most of the protests are in Democratic states where they have lenient laws, and things of that nature. Because they had this one dude, for example, I'm not sure you've seen this one dude that's like, they had a mob of people attacking him in his own car, and like I think it was in Washington State. Forgot the city name. And like this dude was afraid to run him over because the Washington laws are so lenient to the point where he could be trying to protect himself. He could still go to jail if he ends up harming somebody. Unlike Texas, where it's pro-gun state, it's pro-self-defense, things like that.
Oh, you talking about the video where they were talking about like where'd you get this car and all that shit?
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
man, that'd been a good look. Pew pew. Anyway, so I get you again. Yeah, it depends on what state you're in. It's a lot of crazy, stupid stuff. I don't know why people would live in places like that, but you know they exist. They're you know, everybody can say everywhere ain't Texas, but yeah. Where is Misty? Misty's supposed to be joining us in the Discord tonight, and she didn't. And thank you, Miss Jessera, for the love. I appreciate it. But you know, again, like I say, it's just we're living in this new age. We're living in this new world. A new, just. Oh, it's not new shit. It's just fucked up. It's still the old shit, just fucked off. So I don't even want to use the term new normal or new anything. It's the same old shit, just fucked up. So, you know, it is what it is.
And the reason why, like, I feel strong about like that fair flag, like, it didn't really hit me until like I'm not sure you've seen that one lady that apologized because I'm gonna train my kids to hate you.
I didn't watch the video. You know what I'm saying? And so, I got the headlines from like, it's just to the point, like, I'm telling you, I'm so fucking numb from all this shit. Like, if you want to be a dumbass and, you know, people are going to fucking cancel you, just say some stupid, outrageous shit in front of a camera and then, you know, stand on it. And then, you know, of course, what happens, somebody says something, just give a fucking fake apology you don't mean. You probably have to fucking find a new job. You know, after you lose your job, they won't follow you to your next one. You can get you a new one. And they'll forget about you because they'll feel like the job is done. They saved racism by canceling you. So, like I say, it's just, my thing is like, again, you know, what has really been accomplished at this point? You got a bunch of laws, recycled shit that was already on the books. They told you about it and then made it seem like they were passing some new shit. You got some drawings on the ground, you know. Have they made a song yet or something? I don't like. I'm not seeing what has really been done to change anything. Like I said, other than again, like I said, a bunch of fucking companies donate money to an organization where, well, we already know about that, and then some fucking social media posts. The fucking shit is stupid. It's really fucking dumb. All right, Mr. John.
Yeah. The thing is, that even the Black Lives Matter demands and things like that, it's just like I feel sorry for them kids because them kids gonna get put in a bad situation that they're not gonna know how to get out of. And I don't put people in a situation that they don't even understand. I don't get. And then Black Lives Matter crazy demands. Some don't include bail. The other one is legalizing prostitution and letting everybody out of jail.
That's what I'm
That's a
saying.
problem.
But that's my thing with black. That's what I'm saying. Think about it. Sex workers, the alphabet community, women. Everybody's getting something in their demands, except for black men. But yet we'll use the face of black men to promote this cause, and that's why I don't rock with it. I mean, it's just that simple. It's crazy how that's the case.
Yeah. And one thing before I let you go, like even this mask rule, where I kind of liked how they did it, like kind of for trying to put the onus on the business. So you have businesses giving out free masks to wear in stores, which they're doing the right thing in that. But one thing I was telling my parents about is like cops taking their advantage on other races, because now I got another video going around about a cop harassing this black dude about not wearing a mask and arresting this black dude about not wearing a mask when there's Karen throwing fresh meat on the floor in Fiesta. So it's a clear double standard there, and the cops are doing it on purpose. I guess the end game is do it, piss off a whole bunch of black people, and then all of a sudden have them raise the lift the mask rule, so they won't have to enforce this shit no more. Because cops don't like enforcing that shit.
Mm-hmm.
HPD already came out and admitted it, so it is what it is.
Yeah, it's a whole crazy. I can't tell you how many times I have driven to a destination, pulled into the parking lot, opened my door, stepped out, and said, "Oh, fuck." Got back in the car, drove home, just to get a fucking raggedy ass fucking mask to go back and do whatever they had to fucking do in the first place. Like, that's. I hate it. I hate that whole fucking thing. It pisses me off. But I guess, whatever. It is what it is. So. And
I gotta leave it in your car.
Yeah, but and honestly, and I would not have, because I really wasn't thinking about it. I remember, except for the fucking corner store that I go to the most, the guy actually said something. Look, yes, today is the day of the mask order, so next time you come to the store, please have a mask on. I'm finna come in that bitch looking like Billy the Kid or some shit. I'm finna come with a fucking bandana on my face looking like I'm finna here to cause havoc. Run around, run in the store, grabbing a bunch of shit real fast, and run up to the counter and pay for it. They're gonna think I'm tripping. Oh, man. All right, Mr. Josh, anything else that's on your mind there, sir?
I'm good, man. K-Grayson won't be get off the line, so I'm good, man. Call it a day, man. I'm good.
All right, Mr. Josh. I appreciate you calling, sir.
All right, man.
All right, have a good This is supposed to be the last call, but we gonna keep it pushing. Y'all know how it goes. What's the motherfucking deal? Who do we have calling into the den this evening?
Hello.
His voice sounds familiar. Can't quite.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Can't quite put a finger on it. Who do we have calling in this evening?
It's me, Shannon. It's been a while since I've called in or been in the den at all. I've just been really busy, so.
Well, I'm glad that you've, been freed up and that you could join us this evening. What's on your mind this evening, Shannon?
I was wanting to comment on the topic. We were talking about mortality.
Yes, ma'am.
You were saying, is it a bad thing or a good thing to think about death all the time?
How often should you think about death? I mean, if you think about it all the time, that's probably not a good thing. But what's too much? What's okay? What are your thoughts?
I mean, to be honest, I really can't answer that because I think about it quite often.
Why do you think about it so often?
My situation is just different. Like I told you, I have certain health problems that I have to get a certain treatment every so often. If I miss that treatment, I could die from said condition. I have to live with it. There's no cure. I have to live with it. It is what it is. So I've lived with it since I was a kid. So
So, has there ever been a situation where you may have come close to missing it, and maybe you were thinking, maybe more about the possibilities than you normally do?
no, but there was a situation when I was in school, and there was a girl who had the exact same condition as me, and she died right in front of me.
Wow.
And the school went into a panic, and they didn't know what to do, and she just died right in front of me.
Okay. That's tough. Well, definitely sorry to hear that. I'm sure that definitely has a lasting impact.
Yeah, it. Yeah, she. Yeah, so. But yeah, I get this treatment every 10 years, and it's about that time for me to have it done again. So.
So, listen, I'm not gonna inquire. Not gonna be too nosy, but when you say you think about it a lot, you think about it often. Like what goes through your head? Like, how do you? I guess give us maybe your perspective when you do think about these things, if you don't mind.
It's more a matter of when or how it's gonna happen. Like, is it gonna happen in my sleep, or because this condition is sort of hereditary in a way, because my grandmother had it and she was 90 years old. She lived to be 90 years old when she passed away. But she had a son who died when he was 19 from it.
So, is it like a matter of not knowing, or you just feel like at any time is it like preparation? I mean, what do you feel? I mean, like what do you feel like your state of mind is?
I don't let it scare me. I'm gonna put it that way. I don't want to give you the implication that I let it stop me from living. It just makes me want to live more. But I'm not naive to the point where I don't worry about it or don't think about it, or I'm not prepared just in case something does happen. Because I'm very much aware if something does happen. Like I said, we've had so many close calls when I was growing up, and as I've shared with y'all before, I was a sickly kid most when I was growing up, and my mom couldn't even take me home with her, and the doctors didn't even think I was going to make it after birth. So
Well, I'm glad you proved all of them wrong, and I think you still got a ways to go. Because you're from Kansas City, and as much as I think it's a terrible place and should be wiped off the map somehow, some way, I'm sure you'll continue to be around to annoy us with your fresh, shitty Super Bowl and other things. But like I say, so you said that you think it makes you want to live more. So do you think that it's had an impact on your personality?
what do you mean by that?
You said it makes you want to live more. So what I'm saying by
I said live more.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Live more. So does it make you more outgoing? Do you feel like it does it has an impact on your personality, the way you approach life?
Yeah. Well, I am. I believe that the way I am is because of that. Yeah.
So you think that's the reason why you tell very bad stories that should never be told in public?
No, 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 no,
No.
no. Just I think it's the reason why that I'm just not afraid to go out and experience new things.
Okay.
I just don't. I just don't fear going out and experiencing things. Even when I joke about like saying I would never do that, but I not inclined to not doing that. If you understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Yes, I understand. I shouldn't understand, but I do. Okay.
Like, said I would never go hiking in the woods, and I went hiking, or some shit like that.
But there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, I think a lot of us.
Like, there's a whole lot of things that I've tried that I would say I would never do, but like I said, I'm just not afraid to try new things because I'm very much aware that anything can happen because of the issues that I have to deal with. And I'm just not afraid of it. I'm not afraid of this condition, and I don't let it keep me from living life.
So,
And that's why I work so hard.
so you said that you've been very busy, for a while now, and I know during the pandemic, certain activities got real popular. So, do you want to drop the link to your OnlyFans for the Den folk, just in case any of them may want to support?
I don't have an OnlyFans.
Oh, I thought that's what you were insinuating. As to why you had been, very busy. Okay, so maybe I misinterpreted that.
No.
Okay.
I don't have an OnlyFans.
Mm-hmm.
But if you guys want me to sell you guys sex toys, I'll do that.
I don't know what the need for that would be. Y'all got some of those porn star pussies?
Okay, never mind. Okay, no. I was joking. Never mind.
See, that's what I'm saying. I'm trying to shop with you. I'm trying to support black business. You know what I'm saying? Juneteenth and all that good shit. And you ain't even got. That's why I can't support black business because you ain't even got the product. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? That's what's wrong with black folks. Customer service is terrible. This is what I'm saying. This is a prime example. You see, this is why niggas can't get ahead because you can't support black business. They talk about, I got what you need. You say, well, what's up with it? They ain't even got it. You know what I'm saying? Don't got it, can't go get it. So I don't even know what to tell you, man. This is terrible. You're getting a 1-star review on Yelp. Okay. All right. So what else is on your mind, Miss Shannon? It's been a while. So what else you got going on there?
I really don't have anything else going on, except for I didn't think that I came back from Nevada though.
Nevada? What you doing in Nevada?
My dad went missing.
What?
Yeah.
Did you find him?
No, and he's been off his medicine for the past couple of months. And that's not good, and he's missing.
Yeah, no, that does not sound good. So what led you to Nevada?
Because that's where he had his mental... He was on a job out there, and I have a stepbrother, and he supposedly was at the VA hospital out there, and nobody else was available to pick him up, and I went all the way out there to go get him. I didn't think my first time ever leaving Missouri would be driving all the way out there. But
Wait, whoa. So, see, this is what happens every time we get to a Shannon call, right? And there's a lot to unfold here. I'm going to let you finish the story, but we're going to come back to that first time leaving Missouri. But carry on.
Yeah, but anyway, he wasn't at that VA hospital, so he's missing. He's been missing since last Tuesday. I seen him Father's Day, and he's missing now. And the last time anybody seen him, he was threatening to burn down an apartment building. And he's been off his medicine for way too long, and he's really badly sick. Like, the whites of his eyes are completely yellow, and he is skinny like he hasn't eaten in God knows how long.
So, how long were you out in Nevada? How long were you in Nevada?
I wasn't there that long. I wasn't there that long. It was me and a few other relatives. I drove there. We drove all night, all the way out there.
You drove the whole way?
Mhm.
Damn. See, you gotta stop. Look, you gotta stop letting people do you bad. You got to drive, and they relying on you when they having baby daddy problems and shit. Have you got rid of those friends yet, Shannon? Because you know you had a terrible group of friends you were associated with. Have you fixed that issue?
No, I said it was me and another family because he might have been a piss poor dad, but he's still our dad at the end of the day.
Mm-hmm. That's true. Yes.
And whatnot, and despite the things he's done, I'm worried about him, and I don't want anything to happen to him. And he's sick and missing, and nobody knows, can't find him. So,
is there still family that's out there? I said, is there still family that's out there looking for him, or did everybody kind of come back together, or like, what exactly happened?
I've had to file a missing persons report, and they've put him down as an endangered veteran because he's over the age of 55, and because he's been off his medicine for so long. He just refuses to take his medicine. He's a paranoid schizophrenic. And they just diagnosed him with dementia. So
there's a lot going on right there.
Yeah. And he just refuses to take his meds. So now he's missing and can't be found.
Well,
He's not in any hospitals because the state caseworker has called all the hospitals, even all the VA hospitals in the state, and he's not in any of them.
well, we'll definitely be hoping for the best outcome in this situation. But I'm sure that it's bothering you, not having any solid info on what's going on. So
Yeah.
okay.
So that's pretty much what I got going on at the moment, but I really didn't want to talk about that. I just kind of wanted to say hi to all of y'all because I missed y'all since I haven't been in a while, so.
No, well, we miss you too, Shannon. What about that cat? You still got that cat?
Yeah.
You never listen. You'll listen one day and get rid of that fucking shitty cat. Okay. Well, I have no further questions. Anything else you'd like to add there, Miss Shannon?
No, that's it. Well, have a good night, y'all.
All right, Miss Shannon, you too. And like I say, I will keep you in my thoughts and prayers and hoping that everything works out for you as smoothly as possible.
All right.
All right.
Bye.
Good evening. What's the motherfucking deal? Who do we have calling in to the den this evening?
Well, I'm going to have to start doing the bell and try to get on here early because it's going to be a bit too much to hang on here.
Yes, I
But
was making sure to try to get to you. I know you had been waiting, Miss Grace.
I got Honcho.
But how are you?
Good, good. I don't like these masks, but I've been making money off of masks. I'm sure
Hey,
you've been seeing them. It's
yes,
good.
yes. You can't knock that. If it makes money, it makes sense.
You know it. And then I started with the formal wear, formal mask and sexy mask. I'm trying to get one on Keith, a black lace one or a red lace one on him. I try to talk him into it, but he's not going for it. You all can help me out with that.
What's wrong, Mr. Keith? Why don't you want to wear the mask, sir? What is preventing you from donning such a dapper facial design?
That would be exciting. But about mortality, I was just talking earlier. I really do feel like I'm going to be here forever. But I know that I'm not going to be. But I feel that way. Do you ever feel like that?
I have ups and downs.
Okay.
Don't like I say. So I think it definitely depends on your health and other things. Definitely, how you're feeling inside contributes to I think the overall response. But there's been times where I felt like when things are going good, I'm having a good streak. It just feels like, well, I guess you never want it to end, but it just feels like it won't. But then, like I say, sometimes you kind of run into a brick wall and you're just like, wow, it kind of grounds you, brings you back to reality. And, sometimes you just consider some things. That's kind of how it works for me.
Okay, well, I can't wait till you get through that, because that's the one thing. Like aging is, it's a privilege.
Mm-hmm.
It really is. And, you can't foresee the future, but what you can see and what you have some control over, do so, and be prepared. I don't want to be as prepared as possible, but pretty prepared, and that's why I tell people, have insurance, and stuff. For you young people, get insurance while you're younger, because as you get older, the premium goes up. It costs more money. So you want to do it young, and my mother taught us that at a young age, even if it was 50 cents a week. Then when you make more money, you go to $1 a week, and then $5 or whatever. You increase it as you get older or when you make more money. And in life you also have to reprioritize. What was important to you at one time, you have all of that. You did all of that. So now you have a different priority. There's something else that you want, and you just want what's missing in your life. And you want to obtain that. And Mrs. Stone, the lady that was like a grandmother to me, the best bit of advice that I've gotten was she said, in life, do what you can to be happy as long as you don't hurt anyone. And I try to live by that, and I don't worry about anything I have no control over. And I tell my kids, if I die today or tomorrow, just know that I lived a good life. When they started crashing planes, I'm getting on that plane. Just know if that plane goes down, mommy died doing what she loves. And then you want to be considerate of the people that you're leaving behind. Insurance is one way. I can't even leave the house or go anywhere on vacation unless the house is completely cleaned, the shopping is done, all the bills are paid, and everything's done. So if anything happens to me, people can come over. My kids don't have to, get in the house and run around and try to clean up and take care of things. Everything's done. They can sit here and talk about me, grieve, mourn, discuss me with other people. They can do it in peace, because I don't want them to have to do anything that I should have done when I was here. That's my job. And a lot of people just aren't considerate anymore. They just wait, they wait till they get sick, and then they do. They start, they look at this GoFundMe like it's insurance. Everybody knows that they're going to die. You know that you're going to die. So be prepared. I don't care if it's a little bit. Don't leave the whole bill and everything on your family and your kids and everyone else. But, nope, life is good. And I just wanted to say that to the young people. And Honcho, I just had to hang on here because I just wanted to talk to you.
Well, I'm glad you did, because I love talking to my Miss Grace. So I do thank you for holding on. I know it was a little rough, but I love hearing that accent. So I'm definitely glad you did.
Yeah, and I was telling Otis, well, Keith, I said, I gotta call my honcho. I gotta call my honcho. I gotta send him a message so he knows how I feel about you. That's my baby right there. And I gotta call. He said, you're supposed to be sleeping. You said you were going to be sleeping. Oh, no. I'm getting back up because Honcho's giving us a den tonight, and I got to get on there and see my people because I miss you all.
Yes,
But
man.
I'm not going to stay much longer. It was nice hearing Shannon, because I missed her. Thank you so much, Belle, for your support. Belle said that she's going to write a book review. Don't be like Broderick and Troll. They didn't write the book review. Dan did. Dream Queen did. Other people did. Those two didn't, so they better get on it. And I'll be starting my second book that I had started a while back. So I'm going to finish that. And Sarah, like I said, she gave me some incentive. So I'm going to have her little boy's name in there or something that he likes, his soccer ball or something like that. Because my son's going to be flying in because he writes for one of those famous game shows on television.
Mm-hmm.
And because of the pandemic and it's spiking, the coronavirus is spiking there and they can't do things from the house, so VH1 doesn't want to sign on it, put their name on it. So they're just gonna scrap it all and they're gonna start again. So he's gonna be flying home, because when I have a mental block when I'm writing, he's really brilliant at thinking of things and throwing something in there real fast. I'm just getting everything in order so that I can get that over and done with. And that's all that I have to say. What do you mean, Professor Tro, you didn't read the book? So what? Lie. Get on there and lie. You gave it to your goddaughter. You tell her to read it to you. It's only a little book. Oh, he's being a pain in the butt, that one.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but I'm going to let you go because I know you're kind of tired, my honcho. You get some rest, and I'll probably be in the Discord for a minute.
All right, well, yes, ma'am, Miss K. Grace. Well, again, like I said, I appreciate you holding on and, wrapping the den up on a good, solid note. So shout out to Miss K. Grace, and it's good talking this evening.
Thank you.
Thank
okay, you too.
Right.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. All right. We'll wrap it up on that one. I was holding on because I know Miss Grace was saying she was holding, so we'll be in the Discord after this. I'll be in there for a little bit. Mixer crew. I mean, we can probably still do a little slight mixer crew. We had a little long, but it's all good. I shortchanged the shit out of y'all last week or so we ain't even tripping. But yeah, 'cause, the mixer is getting moved over to Facebook Gaming, so we won't be there too much longer. I don't even know what date that's happening. Could already happen. I wouldn't even fucking know. But yeah, I'll get on there for a little while and shoot the shit, talk some shit, or I'll be in the Discord. I'm gonna actually try something. I'm gonna see something. But I'll be in the Discord and the voice chat as soon as we get off here. I'm sliding directly into the thing. So man, make sure you're there. If you want to chop it up, talk about some various things. I'll put a link to the Discord in the chat. Hopefully Miss Misty will show up, because that's my favorite of all the den folk, Miss Misty. So with that being said, I'm chugging up a deuce. Ed Honcho HTX on Instagram, on Twitter, or whatever down there. Den Show Live on Facebook. All the links you need are in the description below. We should be back on track. Like I said, we shouldn't have any issues this week. Like, we should be back on track, like I say, is for videos and everything. I have actually almost have 2 weeks worth of topics done. So I'm going to start setting the dates for those streams. And we'll go from there. So with that being said, man, again, I am a little tired and got to get up early tomorrow because I see people are going stupid again for, I guess, for shutting back, everything shutting back down. So people are going dumb again, so I got to get up fucking early and go to the fucking grocery store. It's fucking dumb. It's stupid, but I got toilet paper, so that's cool. But man, I appreciate y'all again. It is an honor. It is a privilege. It is a pleasure more than anything else to get to chop it up with y'all each and every night. So I thank y'all for being here. Until next time, y'all ain't got to go home. Let me put the fucking link in the thing right quick. But y'all come join us in the Discord. I'm sure July 22nd. That'll be the last day. Okay, cool. So yeah, I'm gonna try to squeeze some mixers in whenever I can. Because then the mixture crew is just dead, I guess, after that. Speaking of Broderick and Trill, I mean, that's what happened when you trust a nigga from Port Natchez and a nigga from Dickinson, you know. You can't rely on either one of them niggas. But, alright. Discord, I'm already in that thing. And, so, there. Alright. Let's see, Trill and Dakota already there having a conversation, so I'll jump in there, man. The link, right? The link. Hey, Honcho, that's what the fuck you said you were going to do. I'm going to give y'all that link, and then I'm out of here. Right, bye. Bow. I saw Miss Marie Lovely in here. I don't know if she's still in here. Shout out to Miss Marie Lovely. All right. Yeah. Discord. Don't meet me there, beat me there. But you can't, because I'm already there. I'm gone.